evil Qing general devises a brilliant plan to rid the empire of the Shaolin masters by pitting both the northern and southern schools against each other. Will his evil machinations come to bear, or will his diabolical plan be thwarted by Invincible Shaolin? Invincible Shaolin, aka Unbeatable Dragons, is a 1978 classic featuring the Venoms mob and directed by Chang Che. It is the third in a quartet of hit movies that Che directed for Shaw Brothers Studios that year, and though it did not reach the popularity of other movies in the cadre of Chang Che productions such as Five Deadly Venoms or Chinese Super Ninjas, it is considered a must-see film for fans of the genre. The film is set during the Qing dynasty, where the Manchus sought to establish themselves as the new regime of northeast China. The military leadership used martial arts as a means to train its soldiers in hand-to-hand combat, and ordered that the Shaolin schools be responsible for that training under an imperial edict. It is here where we find General Pu, played by Wang Lung Wei, who has decided that after 15 years, the Shaolin schools have become a thorn in the side of the Qing courts. So he devises a plan to wipe out the entire school. The general's troops are being trained by 3 resident South Shaolin teachers that are considered subpar. This becomes more evident when the general invites 3 teachers from the north to come and demonstrate their skills. The teachers are Pao, master of the Chin-Can Palm or Iron Palm, played by Lu Feng, Whirlwind Kick Su, played by Sun Xian, and Yang, who uses the butterfly pole or 2-section staff, played by Chiang Sheng. General Pu spurs the teachers from both schools into a match, which the southern school teachers lose. When they embarrassingly go to their rooms in preparation to return to their school, the general kills them all and sends their bodies back with a request to send more teachers. The master of the southern school, Teacher Mai, obliges and sends 3 more students, one of which is his oldest son, and when they arrive, they challenge the 3 northern teachers to a contest. Su Fong implores that they all use caution, as they are not responsible for the deaths of the first 3 instructors, and that he believes that someone is trying to start trouble between the 2 schools. The 3 students eager to fight are not interested in Su Fong's warnings, and despite his efforts to keep the contest friendly, 2 of the students are killed, one by Pao, who crushes his opponent's ribs, and one by Su, who smashes his opponent's skull when he is attacked from behind. The remaining student returns to the school with a smashed elbow, courtesy of Yang, and reports to his teacher what has happened before he subsequently kills himself due to the shame of his loss. It is at this point that Teacher Mai decides he will send no more instructors to the Qing court, but rather he sends 2 of his students to 2 other masters to learn specific techniques to counter the styles of the northern teachers. He sends Chu, played by Lo Mang, to learn Manus boxing from one of his old classmates, and he sends his youngest son, Mai Fong, played by Wei Pai, to learn Yung Chung, which is clearly the Wing Chun technique from another teacher known as the Gardener. And lastly, Ho, played by Philip Kwok, stays behind to learn the fishtail pole from Teacher Mai himself. While the 3 southern students begin their training, the 3 newly appointed instructors of the general's troops are keeping themselves busy. Pao and Yang meet 2 female fruit peddlers in town and eventually begin dating them. They also make the friendly acquaintances of Chu and Ho, whom they don't know at the time of their meeting. Meanwhile, Su Fong also begins to fall in love with a servant played by Kara Huey, who works at General Pu's headquarters as a serving maid. After almost a year has passed, the 3 South Shaolin students have all excelled in their various techniques and reunite at Teacher Mai's school just as the ailing master is on his deathbed. Before he dies, he makes all 3 students swear to get revenge before their slain classmates' shrines, and they devise a plan to disrupt the wedding ceremony of Su Fong and the general's servant. The result is a climactic battle that takes place in 3 separate sections of the court simultaneously and gives you the best that the Venoms have to offer. Invincible Shaolin is a terrific movie that pits the best against the best in an all-out battle for the ages. It has a story that seems familiar because of the principal actors, and yet differs in its attempt to vary the journey. So let's talk about it. The pros? Invincible Shaolin does a good job of varying its characters, giving them different personalities and motivations. This is more obvious when the 3 masters from the North Shaolin School are on the screen. Su Fong is definitely the leader and is clearly trying to figure things out, while Pao is the muscle who has no aversion to fighting, and Yang is the young kid who goes along with the other two. The story is interesting because the movie does not pit either side as good or bad, but merely pawns being used against each other in an effort to destroy all of Shaolin. The fight choreography is really good, and each main character has moments to shine, but the biggest feature of this film are the training sequences being performed by the South Shaolin students, Ho, Mai Fong, and Chu. Chu, played by Lo Mang, is of particular note as he must develop his finger strength by doing push-ups over eggs. If he breaks the eggs, he must eat them, and only eggs, until his finger strength improves. The other two have good training sequences as well, especially Ho, who has to learn the light technique to match Yang, who is already proficient in the skill. Lastly, I appreciate the toast that Pao and Chu have prior to their match as a sign of mutual respect for one another. I thought this little side story had merit and it added to the film. Now for the cons. I find it hard to believe that the 3 North Shaolin teachers didn't get the hell out of there after the first 3 teachers mysteriously died. It seems their deaths should have put up a red flag and would have given them the impetus to leave. I understand they were under an official edict, but still. It seems a bit far-fetched that a year is all it takes to master the skills required to defeat your foe, but that's par for the course when it comes to these kung fu movies. Next, I'm not sure if General Pu is operating as a sole agent or did the court sanction the destruction of the Shaolin schools. It doesn't seem clear. Lastly, I didn't like how Yang and Ho's fight ended. Without giving it away, seems like that fight should have had a different outcome. I wasn't happy with that one. Overall, I think Invincible Shaolin, aka Unbeatable Dragons, is a good movie in a litany of Shaw Brothers Venom classics. It's got a good story that differs from other Chang Cheh films, and the fight choreo, and particularly the training sequences, are a lot of fun. I think this one is definitely worth a watch, so I'll give it 8 kicks. Well, that's all for now. Tell us how you liked Invincible Shaolin. Where does it rate in your list of favorite Venom movies? Comment below and let us know. And if you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, this is the Lone Wolf, OG Ant, signing off. Peace.
You cheeky bastard. Now you know how powerful I really am.